Okay, we're going to go verify that we are live.
You good?
Waiting for verification.
Okay.
Apparently all of the internet is having a challenge today.
Yeah, something's not right because it's not letting me try it again.
Okay, we are live.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Seemack. I'm Director of Public Works for Harford County and Chairman of the Northeast Maryland Waste Disposal Authority. Andrew, have you confirmed that we have established a quorum?
We do have a quorum of board members present for this meeting.
Okay, thank you. Chair calls to order the 376th meeting of the Northeast Maryland Waste Disposal Authority, June 4th, 2024. The minutes of the previous meeting on April 9th, 2024 have been reviewed and approved by the members, and they are posted on the authority's website. And we have provided information on the authority's website to allow the public to view this meeting on YouTube live stream. And today's authority meeting agenda does have items that will include a closed session. I do ask that members that you please identify yourselves before speaking or to make or second a motion. Andrew, you want to identify the other folks that are there in the room with you and other folks on the call?
Certainly. Good afternoon to the board. Here at the authority offices, we have myself, Kim Gordon, Tracy Baker, John Schott, and Jan Wilson. Jan is joining the authority, support us from the accounting and book side of things. Present guests on the call, you will see, and in no particular order, Lee Zimmerman from Frederick County, Craig Jeter from the city of Baltimore, Tim Ford from the Maryland Environmental Service, and Anthony Russell from Baltimore County.
Great, thank you very much. Is there a motion on action item 2024-3-1?
So move, Cliff Engel.
Sorry.
Second,
Thank
Rhodey
you.
Holdhouse.
Second. I hear Rhodey.
Second, Rhodey Holdhouse, yes.
Thank you. Discussion?
Good afternoon, and thank you. For action item 2024-3-1, City of Baltimore Northwest Transfer Station equipment purchase. Source of funding will be the City of Baltimore compliance MOU that the authority has and/or other funding sources as approved by the city. The city has requested that the authority purchase up to 3 transfer compactors, waste transfer compactors, to be used at the Northwest Transfer Station. Any such compactor purchase will replace an existing transfer compactor that is old and has costly maintenance and downtime in recent years. The compactors, if plural, will be purchased from Big Stuff Inc., the local authorized dealer of Marathon equipment, at an estimated purchase price of $345,594.29 each, for a total of up to $1,036,782.87. Should all 3 be purchased. This purchase includes the equipment fabrication, delivery, installation, testing, and training, and demolition and removal of the old unit. The purchase price and underlying contract as provided to the board and made publicly available on the authority's website has been established by Sourcewell, a service cooperative government agency of which the authority is a member. Marathon Equipment Company and its authorized sales representative, including Big Stuff Inc., has won a competitively bid contract with Sourcewell to sell this equipment to Sourcewell member institutions at the price established by the contract. The authority may use Sourcewell purchasing contract pursuant to COMAR 1413-0107. The board is being asked to authorize the executive director to enter into a contract substantially in the form provided for the purchase of up to 3 compactors at a cost of $345,594.29 each, up to a total of $1,036,782.87, as approved by the City of Baltimore.
Thank you. Are there any questions or any discussion from the members? Hearing none, all in favor of action item 2024-3-1, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, no opposition, that item is approved. Is there a motion on action item 2024-3-2?
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Rhodey, Holdhouse, and Arundel.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Willie Weiner, Montgomery County.
Thank you. Discussion?
Action item number 2024-3-2, on-call contract amendments. First Amendment, Pinnacle Communications Resource Company, an increase in the amount of $120,000 is needed for the Pinnacle contract for work in connection with the communication efforts for Anne Arundel County and Baltimore County. Second on-call contract amendment is for SCS Engineers. An increase in the amount of $750,000 is needed for the FCS contract for work in connection with the Montgomery County Transfer Station Scale Project. Staff is requesting increases for the on-call contracts as set forth above.
Thank you. Are there any questions or any discussion from the members? Hearing none, all in favor of action item 2024-3-2, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Hearing no opposition, that item is approved. Is there a motion on action item 2024-3-3?
Phil Harris,
Also moved.
Brenner
Carroll
County, so moved.
Thank you. Discussion?
Action item number 2024-3-3, amendments to the authority's budget. First is amendment to the Montgomery County General Account for a budget increase in the amount of $475,000 to support action item 2024-3-22. Second amendment is for the authority's administrative budget account for a budget increase in the amount of $10,000 for the regional legislative regulatory initiatives. Staff is requesting budget increases as set forth above.
Thank you. Any questions or any discussion from the members? Hearing none, all in favor of action item 2024-3-3, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing no opposition, that item is approved. Is there a motion on action item 2024-3-4?
So moved,
So
Willie Weiner.
Thank you. Second?
second Cliff Engel, Carroll County.
Thank you. Discussion?
Action item 2024-3-4 is the award of a master service agreement for plastic film collection and recycling services. Each participating member jurisdiction will create a purchase order related to the applicable confirmation under the master service agreement should they choose to take advantage of this contract. The authority issued a request for expressions of interest in REOI to procure plastic film collection and recycling services on August 21st, 2023 for its member jurisdictions. The REOI was posted on the authority's webpage, advertised on eMaryland Marketplace Advantage, EMMA, and distributed to a list of known vendors, potential vendors in the plastic film recycling industry. We received one response to the REOI from Turbo-Hall, Inc. Pursuant to the terms of the REOI, the authority directly negotiated with Turbo-Hall in an effort to secure this MSA for the services. The authority requested one clarification from Turbo-Hall. and received the same. An evaluation committee comprised of authority staff and member jurisdiction representatives reviewed the initial response and this clarification. Currently, Montgomery County is the only member jurisdiction interested in participating under the MSA. Accordingly, the authority of Montgomery County members of the evaluation committee recommend awarding a master service agreement to Turbo Hall for services available through a confirmation to Montgomery County with a piggyback option to other members as outlined in the REOI. We view that Turbo Hall is economically sound and stable and has a reputable downstream vendor options available to them. The pricing summary is presented in the action item. Basically, for all jurisdictions, it was 25 cents a pound of material. Per the contractor's proposal, the member jurisdiction guarantees the following minimum monthly participation and collection: 1,500 pounds per service per 1 month of service. This, if the member does not have enough acceptable material to warrant a request for collection in a given month, the member jurisdiction will still be charged the minimum monthly amount, or $375 for the month, to retain the availability of the recycling services and equipment. Each service collection container will be subject to a 1,500 pound minimum. There are a variety of collection containers available under this particular MSA, including but not limited to sealed and closed, weatherproof, non-compacting containers, similar to plastic film containers on site at existing grocery retailers, which are included in the per pound price. The REOI response also included the option for the member jurisdiction to purchase a customized enclosed roll-on and roll-off and/or sea container with side door for plastic film collection at the $10,000 a unit, or for a heavy-duty 72-inch downstroke vertical baler compacted receiver roll-off unit for plastic film collection at $20,000 a unit. The authority is requesting approval for the executive director to execute a master service agreement, substantially in the form provided to the board and made publicly available on our website, with Turbo Hall for a term from the effective date per contract execution, which is anticipated to be this June of 2024 through June 30, 2029.
Thank you. Are there any questions or any discussion from the members on this item? Hearing none, all in favor of action item 2024-3-4, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing no opposition, that item is approved. I would like to ask for a motion to go into closed set. Oops, I'm sorry. I need to go back to item 5. Is there a motion on action item 2024-3-5?
So moved, Cliff Engel, Carroll County.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Rhodey Holdhouse, Anne Arundel County.
Thank you. Discussion on the budget.
Thank you. Action item 2024-3-5 is the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget from the Northeast Maryland Waste Disposal Authority. Within your budget package, there are several attachments. These were made available on the authority website, and so they've been made available to the public, so we don't have to go through all of them. I do plan to cover a couple of high-level goals and accomplishments for FY24, as well as our goals for FY25, pointing out a few contract recommendations in terms of status and update for on-call services, and then ending with a survey of participating subdivisions, COLA and merit increases. Then at that point, if the board desires, you can go into closed session. So in terms of our goals for FY25, we're going to continue what I think has been a very good trend of working with all of our members to meet their needs as they lay out their plans related to the policies that they are provided to provide the service that they are mandated to provide to their constituents. And so for this upcoming year, from a regional perspective, we'll continue assisting members in the preparation of MRA recycling reports by identifying high volume recyclers. We're making updates to the mdrecycles.org website to further expand the suite of items that are available to businesses and, quite frankly, to residents as well, as a reference. Certainly continue to look at multiple regional recycling programs, mattresses, textiles, electronics, this film MSA that the board just voted for. Highlighting a few things in each one of our jurisdictions for Anne Arundel County, continue to assist them with their solid waste diversion activities, including the solid waste disposal contract, manage the operations of the landfill gas to energy facility at Millersville Landfill, and to continue to provide ongoing marketing and outreach services for the recycling program through an on-call provider. For the city of Baltimore, continue to support what has been some really outstanding effort in FY24 for design and compliance projects at a multitude of the city's solid waste operations facilities. We're also looking forward to FY25 in the city, starting the electronics recycling program and the mattress recycling program. Those two items are recently approved by the Board of Estimates. Baltimore County continue to provide support for, again, those regional projects, electronics recycling, textile recycling, then also help the county as they're looking to review the recycling system they have at their material recycling facility, and to come up with recommendations of how they could improve that facility. For Carroll County, continue to provide those electronic recycling collection processes, manage, again, that recycled material processing contract, and continued support for the landfill master plan and design efforts that the county is going through as they look at what it means to manage solid waste and other materials in the county for the decades to come. Frederick County, again, it's that suite of regional recycling contracts, as well as their recycled materials processing contract. In Harford County, it's working with MES and supporting the county in its ongoing environmental monitoring efforts at the Bush Valley landfill. And then also managing the 10-year solid waste management plan to completion. In Howard County, it's managing the solar landfill, solar project at the New Cut Road landfill, again, continuing to help with their transfer and disposal project, providing that support for the electronics recycling and collection, and again, managing their 10-year solid waste management plan effort to completion. For Montgomery County, it's, again, those regional recycling projects as the county goes to increase its diversion even further. And then we're also continuing to support the county as they go through the remediation process of the Goody landfill, and turning that ultimately into a park that will be available to the residents to use. We'll continue our efforts in advising member jurisdictions regarding the best use of waste and recycling related assets. We're going to continue our support of the Solid Waste Association of North America, local chapter and national, the Maryland Recycling Network, the Maryland Clean Energy Center, the Municipal Waste Management Association, that these groups foster education and also foster cooperation regionally. And then we'll also keep up with what's going on at the state and federal level as it pertains to legislation and regulation that may impact member jurisdictions. And that includes participating in stakeholder and task force groups led by MDE that may be of importance. And I would note that 2 of these task forces have finally kicked off. There's a solar panel recycling task force looking somewhat at landfills, but then also looking at what it means to manage solar panels at the end of life. We're participating in that particular group, as well as you may recall from 2023, the EPR needs assessment bill. That council has formed. They're moving forward And so we're going to be participating in those meetings. And also a bill from this year, the lithium ion commission will be looking at what it means to manage lithium ion batteries at the end of life. As we know, batteries cause fires if not handled properly, and they're impactful to a lot of our member jurisdictions. Some of our goals briefly highlighted there, a lot more detail, obviously, in attachment A of the budget package. Attachment B of the budget package, I'm not going to read through it, but this provides you the narrative and the dollars going together. It speaks a little bit more to where the costs are for these various projects that we're undertaking. Again, we work with our member jurisdictions to work up the plan and the estimated budget as they look forward to what their FY24 efforts would be. Going over to page 29 of 52 is attachment C. This gives you more of an income and expense breakdown of what it means for FY25 for the Northeast Maryland Waste Disposal Authority from the administrative funds, but then also the project-related funds and how things costs are defined that way, and then continuing to funding sources. Page 37 of 52, attachment D, gives you a little bit more of a breakdown of our other category in our budget. Again, kind of expanding things to see where costs are, et cetera. Do want to highlight that, we will continue, obviously, our annual audit as required. The board did approve the authority adopting a procurement that Carroll County completed for auditing services. So a good example there of working both ways. Attachment E is a further breakdown of the budget. It gives you a little bit more detail in terms of the individual projects that we've worked with our members to define, at least at this point going forward into the year. And as a reminder, we have shared with all of your staff that this budget sets the map moving forward, but the board does have the ability to amend the budget throughout the course of the year to make updates to catch up with what new policies may come into place. As I mentioned at the opening, we do have some contracts renewals and increases and/or extension recommendations for FY25 that will be included within your vote for the board package. This is attachment F, page 41 of 52. Briefly, we're not anticipating or not requesting any changes for on-call legal. Pinnacle Communications, we are asking for an increase of $500,000 to their contract, and that is to continue to support a lot of the education and outreach that our member jurisdictions are planning for in FY25. For our financial advisor, we're recommending $50,000 for FY25. Clifton Larson Allen, who is our auditor, we have provided an estimated fee of $32,800, and that's for the FY24 audit. We are coming into the last year of our base 3 years for our on-call engineers, and we are asking for the following updates to their contracts in terms of not to exceed limits. For ARM Group LLC, $500,000, and this is for anticipated compliance projects at Quarantine Road Landfill in Baltimore City and other jurisdictions. For EA Engineering, an increase of $750,000 for projects that we anticipate in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and other member jurisdictions. HDR Inc., an increase of $500,000 for resource recovery facility work for Montgomery County and other projects for member jurisdictions. Burns, Conrad, and Schmidt Engineers, SCS Engineers, an increase of $1 million for anticipated projects for member jurisdictions. We do not anticipate a change for the MES, IGA, or for EA engineering under the Goody remediation. We're coming down the home stretch. Attachment G, 43 of 52, are accomplishments. Again, I think we had a very good year. It was a busy year. I think the members are really tackling a lot of challenging items head on, and we're very glad to be a support and a resource to all of our members. Again, we continue that maintenance of the mdsrecycles.org website, did participate in task force and work groups led by MDE. We're working on an REOI for the beneficial use of landfill gas for small, closed, and other rural member jurisdictions, utilizing mobile turbine engines as well as solar. So again, trying to take that cost center for member jurisdiction and use it for its fullest potential that would be beneficial to a lot of people. Brandon Arundel County, again, working with Denali, who is the vendor for the acceptance processing and operations marketing and distribution of yard trim materials at the MLF RRF composting facility. For Baltimore City, it continued support with all of their operations in terms of ongoing compliance and reporting, as well as plans that they have for improvements. We did complete successfully for the city the 10-year solid waste management plan project. We provided support for the city as they went through that effort. For Baltimore County, a lot of advertising, media outreach support projects. The county is really pushing recycling education. We're glad to support them in that effort. For Carroll County, ongoing support. We completed support for their transfer and disposal project, as well as for their recycling operations, and completed the tipping floor replacement at the Northern Landfill Transfer Station. For Frederick County, overseeing the operation and management of the solar project there at Ballinger McKinney wastewater treatment plant, as well as assisting the county with a transport station retrofit that's going to cross over fiscal years. For Harford County, it was getting the ball rolling on that 10-year solid waste management plan, as well as work with MES. Again, a good partnership there for the environmental compliance monitoring and reporting. For Howard County, continued support of their efforts as they continue to build out their composting operation there at Alpha Ridge Landfill, and that's overseeing the design and construction management engineer, as well as starting the process for the 10-year solid waste management plan. And for Montgomery County, they're undergoing a lot of upgrades to their facility, and it's supporting them as they upgrade that transfer station to offer even more services to the residents of the county, and then also managing that contract for Goody. Again, that's the full breakdown of the accomplishments is under attachment G. And so we come to the last page, attachment H, which is the fiscal year 2025 salary survey. This is summary information that we provide to you, the board, as you all the information from the member jurisdiction as well as state. And this is useful then for you as you go through the review of my performance as the executive director, as well as a recommended budget, which includes staff. And with that, Joe, I think I'm done talking.
Well, thank you very much. Before we move into closed session, any questions or discussion from the members on Andrew's presentation of the details of the budget and the efforts of the authority? Okay, I'm sorry. I'd like to ask for a motion to go into closed session under the Maryland Annotated Code, Open Meetings Act, Section 3-305B1, to discuss compensation and performance evaluation of employees and the executive director of the authority. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Rhodey Holdhouse, Anne Arundel.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Willie Weiner, Montgomery County.
Thank you. If we could now turn off the live stream to the public during the closed session and reopen it when we return to open session. Andrew, I will text you when we are completed with our discussions in the closed session for you to open things up again.
Joe, you're going to need to actually ask for a vote to close. You
Oh,
got
I'm
a first
sorry.
and a second. You need a vote.
I'm sorry. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Now we will turn off the live stream to the public during the closed session and reopen.
And I did send notice to the other guests that we were coming back.
Okay.
So we'll see if they join. All right, we are back live.
Great, thank you. During the closed session, the board discussed approval of a 3% cost of living increase and a 2% merit for the employees of the authority, and the performance of the executive director, which was favorable, warranting approval of a 3% cost of living increase and a 2% merit for the executive director. Such increases would become effective July 1, 2024. Are there any additional questions or discussion from the members regarding the presentation of the proposed budget? Hearing none, all in favor of action item 2024-3-5, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing no opposition, that item is approved. Do the members have any additional items for discussion at this time? I would like to mention that Phil Harris told me earlier this morning that he was looking. I hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag here, Phil, but he's will be retiring, and that this will be his last meeting as a member of the authority. So I certainly want to thank Phil for his service to the board in the time that I've had a chance to get to know him here in the last couple of years, and thank him for his service to Frederick County as well. So all the best to you and your the next chapter of your life and career, and hopefully all good things to you. So I want to make sure I shared that.
Thank you. Wonderful group. Really worked with many of you for years. You guys are epitome of public servants, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the authority and the authority staff. And I'll miss everyone, but sometimes it's just time to move to the next chapter.
Congratulations. That's great.
Okay, very good. There being no further business on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
be on other devices.